Alrighty then, what is up, and welcome to this week's episode of the ADLR podcast. We got the usual suspects here. We got Brian.
Mm-hmm.
We got Randall loaded up, Zen 5s, and all of the above.
What's up?
Mr. Reddy. He liked that. I could see the smile on his through the picture of his what's it called? It sounds so quiet now that I don't have the Weekends album playing in the background. When you have all the just greatness playing, right? No bias. And I'm Anthony, obviously, the host here. We're back after a, pretty hype week for myself, right? Brian, so I'm gonna lock this doc. You have nothing on here.
I didn't do anything new, no.
Okay, cool. Just confirming before I lock it, dock it, truck it, right? Yeah, that's it. It's gonna be a nice and easy episode this week. What you guys do last week? Oh, I guess what did you do, Brian? You didn't consume anything new. You just went back to some old favorites.
I mean, I started Guardians of the Galaxy, and after most of my gameplay is me just trying to figure out why it's running like dog shit. I just turned things to medium and then set the DLSS to like balance, and it's running better than without it. But even then, that shit's running like dog ass on my computer for some reason.
Did you disable ray tracing?
I've done it with and without, and it was still running like shit.
What the hell? That's so weird.
I don't know. So now I get like 70 frames, but it's nothing consistent, which I'm finding annoying. But it's playable now, and I'm not too far into the game, so that's why I didn't add it to the
list. We're probably in the same boat. Since I played,
list, yeah.
I've had like one barely a session. Second time I played it, I actually had a decent amount of playtime in it, but nothing.
I will say though, is with the dialogue options and just playing a character with a gun and having squad stuff to do, it's making me just rather play Mass Effect.
Oh no, I like the the dialogue back and forth in this game more than Mass Effect ever would reached, I guess, because it's more Uncharted style where they're just constantly bickering.
Not necessarily that. I'm saying like the choosing of the dialogue.
Oh, yeah, I don't know how deep that's gonna get, but most of it's been like two answers, and I'm like, okay, Gamora's mad now, or
yeah, I saw the telltale the little things at the upper right, like, oh, they appreciated you for doing this and things like that.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, that's good because that's a good thing to grab from the Telltale series.
I just need to figure out if you can make relation with Gamora, because if you can, every choice is gonna go around that.
Yeah, would this get me closer to Gamora?
Mm-hmm.
That's messed up. I thought it was you can stick with Drax. Isn't Drax your favorite?
No.
Because if he stands completely still, you can't see him.
No. He's funny, but I don't. I think if I put everybody on there, I don't know if Mantis counts. I'd probably say he's probably the lowest.
What the hell? You're wild. Over Groot?
No, actually, MCU Gamora is at the end. For me, so I would say Groot 1 easy. Groot's my guy. Rocket, damn it, I don't know. Those depend on the mood, because Rocket had a great showing in the end game and that stuff, and he rose pretty high up there. But Groot, he literally murdered an entire hallway of people, looked back and smiled. So I was like, I don't know.
That's your guy. That's
yeah,
the main one.
Them two. I would say Drax, and then Gamora in the MCU is just like, okay.
Yeah, unfortunately she didn't have much besides I'm Thanos or Thanos, Thumb Nose, whatever you want to call him.
The Nas.
The Nas, if you will. The daughter. And I'm like, okay, well, I see how your people got slaughtered, and that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
He was giving you a fidget spinner while he murdered your family.
I really wish I could just play as other characters in Guardians of the Galaxy. Is another sad complaint. I don't remember if it's base game or what they added in Final Fantasy 15, but when I played it, I didn't see a way to switch characters, and it's giving me that kind of vibe.
Yeah, you don't swap in Guardians. You just play as Quinn.
I didn't get the deluxe
No.
version, but it gave me access to certain costumes early. Immediately switched off of how he looks and put the one that was like the comic one where it's all navy blue, and he has like the logo on the in the chest.
Okay.
I put that one on frame one.
I didn't change it because it's me, right? I got it.
I mean, when you're in dialogue spots, the helmet comes off, so
Oh, okay. I just left it. I'm like, I'm just gonna keep it as base and see what happens.
yeah, I haven't played too much of it yet.
Oh, I did play a little bit more of Halo Infinite story, the story mode. So that's gonna be
You're
quite the.
gross.
I'm gross.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun to play that co-op because it's like open worldish. So it's gonna be a bunch of we finished this quest and I'm just gonna start beelining to side quests while you guys are like, where's Anthony at? And then completed side quests.
You level up?
No, there's complaints on that I have in terms of the open worldness. But when I finish it, I'll divulge more, I guess. Uh, Speaking of going back and playing, Hades. I've been going back and getting the true ending, which I got the true ending. Unfortunately, I was kind of disappointed by that true
Disappointed.
ending. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I guess spoilers for Hades. Not what transpired, how they showed what transpired. Right.
I was hoping they would be in the
I thought they had 3D models like the rest of everyone in there. Like we're gonna have the same complaint then. All right. So spoilers for Hades. You go and get your mom, who you find out is Persephone. Hades and Persephone loved each other. He took her away from Olympus, and they had a thing going on. But the gods didn't know that, so they kept it in secret. You were born, you grew up, you start trying to leave. Hades is underworld. I think it's just called underworld, right? Or the House of Hades.
Yeah.
You try to leave over and over again until you find Persephone up in the surface, and then you're like, "Oh shit, mom, what's up?" Anyway, then after beating it more and more, she decides to move in. So she comes back to the House of Hades, but you still have to keep things under wraps because the gods don't know that Persephone is your mom and that she's here. They think she's gone, like
And they
disappeared.
think the reason that you're trying to escape is to go to them.
Yeah, you have to go hang out with them. Once you beat it a bunch more times, Persephone's like, "All right, we got to stop this hiding shit. We're just gonna have to give them some sort of lie that they can believe. So let's all invite them to a party here at the House of Hades." And then as you run into all of them, you give them an invitation. Once you invite everybody, you talk to obviously Persephone and Hades, and now the party commences. At that point, I'm like at hype level 700. Cause I'm like, I'm gonna see all the god like what
I'm
their
gonna
3D
see
models.
fucking
I'm gonna see
baby boy.
I'm gonna see Aphrodite's boobs. I mean, Zagreus or Dionysus, Ares, all of them. And no, granted, what happens is an image, like an artwork of Zeus and Hades shaking hands, which was a really cool piece of artwork because it's like after the entire how many times you're running through this and hearing about the disputes between the whole family and stuff, seeing them shake hands, and you see some people in the background. Like I saw Athena's hair, like her
Athena.
Athena, yeah, Athena's hair, like
Athena's hair. Or how you say
Athena's
it.
hair. That's how you say it. Okay, I'm not mean. My English is not very good looking, so uh,
Mm.
silhouettes of them in the background. Everyone's having a good old time. Like even after continuing the runs afterwards, they talk about, oh, we had a great time. I got to meet this person. Like Aphrodite's a huge fan of Achilles, so she talks about finally meeting Achilles. It's cool. It's world building. It's all. I just wanted like a legit them that walking around, like them showing up in the House of Hades, just hanging out afterwards. But once I got that training, I'm like, okay, cool. What else is left? And then I saw I had a few more achievements to go, and then that like 20 minutes before this podcast started, I finished all the achievements. I'm done with Hades. So, off the backlog, we're moving on. And we've reviewed Hades like twice, 3 times at this point. Go play it. It's fucking fun. Lore is fantastic. Character building's great. Uh, but I'm done with it. I think so. That I'm assuming that was your complaint as well for that ending.
Yeah, I was hoping it puts you into I forget the name of that hall essentially where everybody is, and then you can interact with people and do shit. I was hoping they went into that instead of just beating it this many times, interacting with them this many times just to get really good art, and then
Mm-hmm.
you move on. I was really upset. I wasn't upset, but I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And then if you keep playing after that, when you talk to them, they'll be like, oh, some party, huh?
Yeah, that's what I mentioned earlier. Like I kept playing because I needed to get the remaining achievements. And there has some of this shit is not random. I needed to talk to the bull dude, Minos.
Mysterious.
Hysterius. Why did I say Minos? That's weird. I don't know. Anyway, I did like 20 times just to get him while. So, baby, a new opponent has entered. She's saying hello. She's going to get on camera. Let's see.
No, why? What for?
They can already hear you. Oh. Oh, that was cute.
What?
She put the pillow in front so no one could see our love. So.
Oh, it could also be that she had a silenced pistol, and she shot at you, and she hit it, and that was what it was.
Yeah. You're saying that was a silenced pistol that they heard.
Oh.
Because instead of a kiss sound, it sounded like a.
Yeah.
So that's not food. That's a chapstick.
Don't be so mean to her. She fucking knows it's not food.
No, she was smelling about to take it.
You want some for it?
No. Anyway. What am I doing?
Mm.
Oh, yeah, Hades stuff. Yeah, so you have to wear, like, the gloves and then see Asterius by himself in the Elysium. Or... Elysium? That's wrong.
Diablo.
Asylum? Asylum?
Elysium.
Elysium. Thank you. I'm like, that's rounded wrong with the second it came out of my mouth. What's up?
I was gonna play Shadow of War, but
Yeah.
then I remember you doing this and I can't because this all is soon.
Oh, okay. I mean, we won't. This is gonna be a shorter episode because not much is on here.
She gonna play God of War, she said?
Shadow of War. Did you never play the sequel of Middle Earth?
I didn't
Oh.
finish the first one. Damn. But they don't. What do you tell them? They don't have keys.
Yeah, they're. She didn't play She didn't finish the first one, Shadow of Mordor, but when she got it on Humble Bundle on sale, that's on. I don't know if it's on sale, still on sale, but Humble Bundle said we'll send you a link or not a link,
Key.
a key once we get it because everyone I guess bought it on site.
This is the 20th anniversary of Lord of the Rings.
And the 20th anniversary of Lord of the Rings.
When I played, I think it was the first one. I played the first one. I had the skin of that one lady. I think it's like a blonde lady on.
Yeah.
So that's how I played. I don't remember if I played the second one or just watched you play it. But ask her to do me a favor whenever she does the branding thing.
Yeah.
She has to yell something that sounds like she's doing an angry interrogation at the guy.
Brian's asking that every time you brand someone in the game, to yell at them.
Brand them?
Yeah.
Interrogation.
Interrogation, sorry.
But yell it.
But you have to yell.
So, like, for instance, you grab them and then this does the sound.
Hold on.
Give the headphones. Hey.
Oh my god, that's so loud.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
So for instance, right? You know how like when you can choose to brand them or kill them, he grabs their face and then it zooms in and they're like, and then it sounds like real loud.
Right.
When you do that, you have to yell some kind of interrogative question. So like
Yeah.
you do it like, "Who sent you?" And then you pretend that you do a yell that you think they would do, and then when it zooms in, you're good. You can do what you want.
Got it. Yeah, I told Anthony what you said that, and I said, "What color is my underwear?" Because that's what SpongeBob does.
That's fine.
Squidward's like, you gotta ask them a question they know. And that's it. All right, do the thing so I can leave.
For the audio listeners, Brian went on a roller coaster ride.
It gets me every time, dude. Oh my god.
So Asterius, right? One of the ways to get the aspects of a weapon, which is like another form that gives you new skills and things like that, you have to speak to it and you have to find like the code words from different gods, things like that. Well, Asterius has the one for your gloves. And I did like 10 runs back to back, clearing them, right? Trying to get this fucker to show up. And then when he shows up, he's like, thank you for this new suit. Because I did it with like Extreme Measures level 3. And I'm like, I don't care about your suit, right? Like, show me the money, right? I don't know why you went like super low definition,
I don't
but
know either. I thought it tried to censor me. Oh, I'm back.
yeah. Anyway, so yeah, it never showed up. And then when I'm telling you, like every run after I got my the aspect, he's like, yeah, I'll show up, no problem.
That's my favorite aspect of the gloves.
I didn't like how slow it was.
Wait,
I liked how wide it strikes, but I didn't like how slow it was.
actually, no. I'm sorry. That's not the one I like. That's the one that your secondary, like, there's a mark on them, right?
No, that's the wide swipe, like the wide one, and then he jumps higher, I think. Like it's like a claw, like two claws.
I think
Someone
there's a
in the
debuff you could
chat's
put.
like, start over, I got here late.
Oh shit.
Oh damn, sorry. So let me just hit a button. I'm scared.
Um,
The one I like is the magnetized one, where it pulls them in and it does damage. So then the magnetization damages them, and then you hit them with a fucking uppercut.
I
That
think I
shit
just used the
slaps.
base one. What's the third one?
The third one's Demeter's, where it's after 12 hits, your special hits 5 times. I
Yeah, I
use
don't
that.
use that one for sure.
I use that one a lot. That does heavy damage if you have
But
good
when I use the
stacks.
gloves, Anthony, I don't press the Y button. I only press X. I
Really?
think the Y button's ass.
No. That's sometimes my damage dealer, the Y, especially when I use the Demeter. Demeter.
Yeah.
Like,
I primarily build for like crit and or damage over time stuff. So
oh, so
I
you're
don't.
Doom
I
or
need to. I'm working
Dionysus.
the body, Anthony.
Yeah, that's wild.
I don't like Doom that much. I do Artemis usually, or Dionysus or Demeter.
Nah, for me, it's my perfect combination is the hands of the aspect Demeter, the gloves, we
Mm-hmm.
throw in hands with Athena and Ares. Like, yeah, having Doom like do high damage and then being able to dash and like deflect shit with Athena. Come on,
Oh,
I
by
have
the
like
way,
all my bases covered. Go ahead.
if you know the aspect for the gun that you hate, the Lucifer
I
one.
hate that beam one.
Yeah, but build it with Doom.
Why?
I mean, it already does hilarious damage on its own, but you put Doom on them and you get the boon that makes it so that the more you hit someone, the bigger the Doom damage is gonna be. And since it's a multi-hitting thing like that, by the time you're done, it just slaughter gangs.
Oh shit! Because there's also another one where it lets you stack dooms even if one's not done yet. So I'm sure that probably breaks. And then
Yeah,
and
but
then I
those,
also use the fucking bow you told me, the one where it's like 9 bullets that just track. That's so broken. Like
that's literally that was my you clear runs for free build was just put that on and then crit build.
that was mine until I maxed out Demeter's. Once I figured out that hit 12 times and then like you get 5 hits of the Y, and I build towards the special damage, I was doing insane damage, and that's my
Yeah,
go-to now.
at AGDQ they did a Hades all weapons race and I
I
didn't get
didn't
the chance to see it.
Same. There's some runs where I'm like, well, it's after my shift, so I'm not gonna be able to listen to it or look over and check it out. So I missed a few that I wanted to
I missed
watch.
I missed almost everything.
Nah, during work hours, I just had it playing in the background while
When I
I
was beating
worked.
Death's Door, I it took me long enough so that they started running Death's Door on G, and then I saw that while beating, and then I beat the game, and then I saw him beat the boss.
Oh, nice. And shout out to AGDQ. Games Done Quick. Awesome Games Done Quick is a charity that happens in the beginning of the year, and they reached $3.4 million this time around, breaking the
That's the
records.
record.
Yeah, so congratulations to them. It's for a great cause. I miss pretty much everything too. They had some good runs. There's one where me and Randall were watching. It's Sekiro blindfolded.
Yeah, well,
When we were watching it, I'm like, how the fuck is this guy doing this? Like the amount of mental like memory you need to have to. It's wild. Like the some of the bosses, like he ran through some of the bosses that that killed me multiple times in one try. Like remember the fucking troll thing that kicked me off the level? No, he embarrassed him. And I'm like, well, why do I play video games anymore? Right?
just do it blind. That's the buff. You're better when you're blindfolded.
It's insane, man. Through audio alone, that guy was and the guy with the horse, he made him look
Oh,
dumb. And I'm like, hey, what am I doing?
some reason when you said the guy with the horse, I pictured the boss from Ninja Gaiden.
Oh no, the one with the open field and the guy comes running in with the horse and he has like the huge blade that swing like the pole arm, I think it is.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah. Oh, and I also finished. I forgot to mention. I forgot to put it on here. Learn the patterns, bro. That's 100%. I'm sure that's why, because he can hear the audio cues and then he can, the amount of time to do that, probably not that much.
I saw a bit of before to cut you off. I saw a bit of the Neo 2 run. I kept glancing at it because I didn't want to. I like the first one, didn't beat it, and in this one you make your own character. So I was like, naturally, I need to play this at some point now.
Oh, I didn't know they swapped to create a character.
Yeah, I saw bits of it. I don't want to watch too much because then if I know what's happening or any lore or whatever, I'm gonna be less inclined to play it.
Uh-huh.
It's cool still, cool run.
Gotcha.
What are you saying though? What did you beat?
Johan in the chat says not him, you. Oh yeah, I definitely. For me to learn the patterns, that's got to be my main game, right? And I don't have a main game. I don't think anyway.
What do you mean? You're always playing.
Yeah, that game was pretty good. Anywho, what was I gonna say? I finished Vermintide 2, the main campaign.
Nice.
So
Did you say time?
Yeah, after the game fucked me on the last episode, because I played with just bots, right? So the last mission, I had to retry like 3 times, and Randall was there to watch me. Like, one, they fucked me hard. So the last mission, you have to go through like a portal to go to like the north or something, to the cold, break everything on that side, and then jump back to where you were through the green portal. But since you're playing with bots, when you jump through the portal, they spawn further ahead, right? To a place where you know how like regular game design, not regular, like old school tactics of like, oh, we don't want them to come back to this place, so we'll drop them so they can't climb back up, that kind of thing. Like, let's drop them off this hill, and now they're in this new area, and they can't return. It's like an easy way to unload or deload shit from behind them they're not going to use.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that happens when you come back from I think it's called the Skitter Gate or something like that. When you come back, you walk through normal, but if you have AI bots, they spawn ahead where you would drop. So, but they spawned one of the assassin rats, which is like, it's like the ones that jump on you and you keep attacking you until you die, right outside of the fucking gate. So it was like my second try. I'm like, okay, now we're gonna beat it, because I think I died to the final boss the first time, and I'm like, damn, GG's, let me run it back, right? And then the second time, I'm like, all right, I sped run that other area. I'm back to kill the boss. Walk through the gate to the thing like this. If the camera's where we were at, I spawned through the gate. The color faded back as it teleported me, and then right here, and then it got me, and I'm just laying there getting stabbed to death. No fucking AI bot in sight, and I just died there, and I had to do the whole thing over again.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I'm done here, Randall. And then not 10, 20 minutes later, I'm like, I can't, Randall. I gotta try. This is the last level. I gotta finish this fucking game. So then I loaded it up and kept playing, and I finally beat it, because the boss is it's 2 people. It's like a little wizard dude on top of like a huge, it's like a huge dude who just fucking so strong, and he has knockback set to max. But it was fun. I just need to beat it with the rest of the characters, like on the side. But I forgot to add that to the doc. It's a gaming episode for myself, basically clearing backlog episode. Anyway, I don't even know how we got here. Oh, Team Fortress 2? I don't know if Team Fortress 2 is my main. It was my main. I haven't played TF2 in so long. I don't think it's that title anymore, right?
I don't even think I play anything that often anymore, so that's my main game.
Yeah. I think the only person here that has a main is Randall, and that's Tekken, right?
Probably.
You still with us, Randall? You sleeping? You awake?
Nah, I'm here.
You would say?
I'm just waiting for fucking. These are essentially the criteria for me to just say I main this game, right?
Go for it.
With Guilty Gear, if I really like biking, or the second like Slayers in the game, I'm like, I'm learning it. I'm actually learning it. I'm not gonna half-ass it. I'm gonna put Millia time into Slayer.
Okay.
Um,
Is Slayer the dapper looking vampire?
the vampire, yeah.
Okay.
That when he gets the thing they gave Nagoriyuki, the samurai, when he's on the ground, he lays like this. Slayer
Okay.
been doing that.
Okay.
He's literally everyone else weapons, a big ass lighter. I'm so a sword. He said I'm putting these up.
Damn. Oh, Johan in the chat means a lot of games. The one I do believe though is for Final Fantasy 14.
Skullgirls man. Yeah, I mean we are Parasol mains. The other criteria, it's not really if this happens because it's been announced when Black Dahlia's out. I might panic and uninstall, or not out, but when she's playable in the alpha,
Yeah.
I might just panic and uninstall more games. And then when KOF is out, the new one next month, I'm gonna give that a college try.
Okay.
But besides that, I don't. There's no shooter that I'm like I gotta get good at this. There's no fighter right now that I have like drive to actually just lab out. If someone's like, "Hey, you want to play this?"
You're like,
Or if
sure.
I'm bored, and I'm like, "Yeah." It's essentially just me like, "Yeah, I'll play," and me getting salty at myself because I'm ass at the game now, despite me not playing it.
So it starts as like a social thing. Oh, let's just hang out, play some fighting games, and then just you cannot see past the sodium.
No, I could. So it's that on top of me just out loud just shitting on myself.
Oh, okay. That usually helps. From experience, that helps.
I mean, yeah.
Just letting you know. Just saying.
That's really it. I don't see myself putting enough like a lot of time in a game for me to be like, I'm going all in with this.
For me, it's
not
been.
anymore.
I think recently the genres I've been maining because now it's XCOM. I've been playing Empire Sin. I've been playing Phoenix Point. So it's been like those type of games plus the 4-player co-op games like Vermintide, World War Z, Zombie Army 4. I think I would like, and Johan in the chat says I think I would say like Final Fantasy 14, Monster Hunter. There's a new Monster Hunter out too. I haven't even finished World yet. In Terraria that he mains. I wish I could say a fighting game, but yeah, haven't had a drive. Kelsey in the chat. You waved, and I immediately thought you were trying to get my attention because I wasn't paying attention, listening to something else at the same time. Wow. Old habits. It's most of them be like, oh shit.
Seeing Johan right, like I don't know if he was joking with the Dota thing. I'm like, remember when I put in 700 hours into this game?
And then did you like rage quit, or it just fell by the wayside?
It's. I don't think it was a rage quit. It was more so just burnout of the game.
That's fair.
Because we were playing it back to. I mean, it was whenever it was with E-Man, it was enjoyable. Or like with someone else.
Mm-hmm.
But then after a bit, I think of us maybe playing too often or too much too often, or just the community. Just if they're winning, they're nice. If on your team, if you're losing, it's someone else's fault.
Yeah.
And I think that ultimately combined with other things made it just like I'm kind of burnt out on this.
Sorry, I read what Kelsey put. As a heads up, they're cutting out the Parasite this Friday. Translation, I'm assuming he's getting the kid this Friday. Not like pre-order from Amazon. The birthing is happening. That's good, man. Congratulations, man. That's gonna be a long day for you. And for her. Streaming it? I don't think you're allowed to. Kelsey in the chat updates us with, well, I originally called it a tumor, but Shannon corrected me and said it's a parasite because it's literally feeding off of her. That's fair. That's good. That's good news, man.
I'm happy for you.
Yeah, that's cool. It's on a Friday too. You get the whole weekend to.
I mean, I could have stream on your OnlyFans. Make sure while you have like this with your phone. Make sure you have an angle where you still see your dick.
Yeah. Someone tunes in like, what the fuck is this? They'll never visit OnlyFans again, dude. Holy shit.
That'd be fun. So that would be funny. And then if you had like like the day of labor, you sit there recording, and then you say whoever donates the most by the time the kid comes out, you name the kid after that person.
Holy shit! Right?
You know how much fucking money you would get, dude?
I can imagine that like a celebrity. I mean, we're all celebrities here, but I mean like musical celebrities or movie actor level celebrities doing that.
Mm-hmm.
That's easy cash.
Mm-hmm. That'd be interesting.
That's insane.
But yeah, I don't. Something's missing that oomph when it comes to fighting games, or maybe it's just because I don't have as much time, or like I feel like I should be spending time doing other things.
It's because this podcast kind of turned everyone into variety, trying out different things. Trying to get reviews or impressions for the cast.
I don't know if she's good, Joan. She's like zoner meets set play, and I just want to make sure no one ever touches me. So I don't know if I don't think I'm. She's my cup of tea.
You might have to ask if see if they can add Arthur then.
Into Melty Blood.
I saw what I think is a cutscene from Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite through TikTok because Randall sent me like Ryu and the Hulk fighting a monster from Monster Hunter. I don't know if that's like a cutscene from the game. From
I think it is. I think it's the whole premise is both worlds are combining, so they would combine two like key points, key like places, like landmarks from the two worlds, and just name it the same thing. And they combined whatever the place was from Monster Hunter with Wakanda, and it was like some weird ass name. And then Ryu and Hulk do that, and then T'Challa before he was released as DLC playable, because they did a shitty job with that stuff. He comes in, he's like, "I have that stone," and then you guys do other things.
I hope that's not his actual line. I
Nah,
have this
remember.
stone. Oh shit! But then I saw that I'm like, man, I remember Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Yeah,
If something hits me with that kind of like energy, which I don't,
honestly,
yeah, like because that's the first one I fucking put time in. And that shit was fun as shit.
if with Capcom disrespecting me left and right, I don't think this would ever happen. But if they actually made like a rollback patch and it's actual GGPO or something, I think a lot of I to the point maybe even I would I don't know. Like my time would go to that and or Skullgirls, or maybe even just from nostalgia's sake, it might just go to Marvel.
Foot dive, and I can
Phoenix
finally
Wright.
try my new main, which is Joker. I'm just kidding. I forgot his name. Guy who sits down,
MODOK?
big MODOK. Thank you. I'm like, I can try
I
my
mean,
MODOK.
try your man. Didn't you win fucking CEO?
Nah, not at all.
Yeah, I don't know.
Join in the chat with Phoenix Wright. Did he actually play Phoenix Wright?
I don't remember.
I don't
He played like
remember.
a bunch of characters.
I think he played random because he's sick with it.
I've been playing Dragon Ball again to learn it.
Oof.
And I realized what my issue is as to why I kept switching characters pretty often in that game is that game doesn't let me play how I want to play. So, like, for example, Marvel, any game plan is viable. You could be a zoner with Morrigan, you can full rush down, be the best character within the first 7 seconds of the game. That's a really good comment, Javi. Well, however you want to play Marvel, that's how you're playing.
Mm-hmm.
With Dragon Ball, it seems like unless you're playing Z Broly, which is only a good zoner because he's also a grappler,
Mm-hmm.
the way you're allowed to play feels like is way more limited to other games that I enjoy. So a lot of it's me playing characters how I want to play, and it doesn't work whatsoever, and then I get frustrated, and I just start playing random characters back to back, and then like I think I like this character, and then I'm reminded you can't actually play the game like this, and then I get frustrated, and I pick another character.
Oh, there's like a set way to actually succeed in the game instead of
Yeah,
That's
and I'm
unfortunate.
assuming if a pros would be like that's not true, but that's just that's in comparison to the games that I love playing, that's what it feels like.
That sucks. Damn, I haven't loaded that. I haven't even installed that. I don't even know if I have a Steam copy. I think I had the PlayStation copy, right? And then
Dragon Ball?
yeah, I don't think I even have a PC
Probably.
copy. I don't plan on playing it, so it's not a huge thing.
Yeah. I've just been playing it, and then if it gets rolled back next month announcement with whatever human Android 21 does, then I'll be like, oh, that's cool, and then I'll probably keep playing, but I don't know.
Nah. Human nah, no thank you. Keep that.
I
Human
need
Android 21.
that fucking I need that Marvel oomph is what I'm missing. You should buy the PlayStation copy. How do we ban him?
Yeah, I can't do JRPGs. Every time I see one, I'm like, if I had a lot of time on my hands, maybe. But every time I see JRPG, I'm like, no, thank you, because they're designed to keep you there for so long, and I'm like, I'm good. Someone deleted
He got
his
timed
mess.
out for 300 seconds.
Oh shit, that's too much power. Um, what was I gonna say? Yeah, I can't with JRPGs. Like I think it takes too long. How do I undo it? I don't think you can.
Oh
We don't
my.
we don't live in Twitch world, right? Where it's like, little jokes, let's undo it. Things you do on YouTube stay here forever, right? He's gonna be so mad when he comes back and be like, what the guy?
He sent me a gift that said, wow, this bitch.
Yeah. Anywho, what the hell are we talking about? I don't know. I think I went from what we do this weekend to just everything on my fucking list. So that's where we're at. I guess I'll finish it off with what? Oh, it was Hades.
Yeah,
What we were
and then you
talking about.
switched to another game you beat, but then you said you beat Vermintide. But I think you're gonna say another game that you beat that's on your list. Was it the Lego game? Is that what you're gonna mention?
Huntdown.
Huntdown.
Gosh, that game was such a treat. It's like barely 3 hours long, but it's a fun fucking ride. So Huntdown is a side-scrolling like action Contra style type of game, right? And one kudos to anyone who designed the aesthetic of this game. It is arcade to the maximum. It is I don't even know what that is. Like even I'm speaking like it's the 80s. It's arcade to the maximum. Grab your fucking right.
Grab your fucking.
Grab your fucking right, and then once you get in there with your fucking dude, you just outfuck everyone. Um, yeah, Contra style, sort of Contra style, because the movement's different. You can dash, you can crouch behind cover, shoot over cover, like it has contextual shooting and stuff, which is really nice. You can hide with the background in a way, like if you see like a garage or something, you can have your character like step into it to dodge fire. Uh, cool weapons. They all named pretty funny. Like the naming in this game is on point. Whoever sat down and decided to name the characters in this, the gang names, the weapons you use, all cool. Uh, you can pick between 3 different characters. I played only as one through my first run, which is Mo Man, I think his name was. He's like a
The
side,
robot.
yeah, he's like an android or something. So I'm like, that's me, right? Uh, played with him. He has a regular pistol. I don't know if they have different loadouts. If the 3 characters do or not, they do.
It showed when you were like deciding they all had different guns.
Okay, well then they have a different starting like loadout, and my guy had just had what was it? What are those called? Not shurikens.
Throwing knives.
I think it was throwing knives. Yeah.
Kunai.
Kunai, thank you, and a handgun, and then that's what we started off with. The bosses were pretty fun. Like they had actual boss patterns. All had some sort of personality because they were like voiced differently depending on what gang they were a part of. Like I said, it's pretty short. You have different sections. Each section is just you taking out a different gang up until the last dude, which again, multi-stage boss. Please stop. But that's probably like my. To be honest, the game was like not flawless because nothing's flawless. I had a fantastic time up until that last part because I'm like, damn, this was always gonna be a complete package until the multi-stage boss, and then I mean that's not a huge thing. But if you don't care for multi-stage, I mean, as in like you don't mind multi-stage bosses, you have to play Huntdown. It's like I think $20, but it's short, like a 3-hour thing. If you just want to beat it, there's like replayability if you want to try different characters, different difficulties. Because I played it on easy, and there's like 4 other ones, but it was already difficult on easy. I was dying near the end of it because they started throwing a bunch of stuff at you, and I'm sitting there with just no idea what to do. Right, getting shot at. Art style's great. I don't have any of the names of the enemies and stuff that were on there, but I guess I can look it up real quick. Hold on. Hunt down enemy names. They were great.
I forgot all of them, but it felt like I named them.
Yeah. So we have. Oh, here we go. The Hoodlum Dolls is one of them, right? you have to take out Troy Lawman. His captains were Sweet Angel, Sid Handsome, Bad Boy Bob, Psychonaut. The Misconducts with the leader called Unholy Goalie. And then the captains were TNT Randy, Nadja Drago, Shellshock Murdoch, Teddy Taxman. Come on.
That's the guy that I liked. Teddy Tax, man.
And then the Heat Seekers was led by Ringo Road Rage, and his captains were Dean Dandy, Sookie the Sniper, Sookie, the Overseer, and Sonny Rooster. The number one suspects, the leader was the Shogun. Then you had the Dudson twins, Marlo the Mutant, Grandmaster Udai, and Syra Rhodes. What? Some other characters were like Antonio, Tony, Salazar. One of the main characters you picked is named Anaconda. Anna Space Conda. Come on. Anyway, yeah, I highly recommend it. It's really fun. And I didn't know until I started playing it that it's co-op. Like it's 2 players. So I don't know if they're both on screen or they like swap like the old Mario games where like Mario goes first and Luigi. I don't know if it's at the same time or not, but if you're looking for a 2-player co-op game with Contra style like action, I think that's definitely recommended. And that's Huntdown. Oh, soundtrack's awesome. Forgot to mention it because it's like 80s inspired. They have copyrighted music, but I had to disable it because I was streaming it, so I don't know what the copyrighted music is. But the soundtrack that they played in substitute of it was cool. So check it out, definitely. That's that. And I guess to close my fucking section off here, Lego Builder's Journey. I played this like in the middle of the night once I was at in Cloud Atlas, if you will.
You're in the skies of Columbia.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's another short game. Finished it in one sitting. If you have a rig or a PC or something with that's capable of ray tracing, I highly recommend turning it on for this game because everything looks awesome. They look almost like the Lego pieces look almost lifelike, and the lighting bouncing between everything, awesome. Anywho, besides how great it looks, it plays very simple. It's like a puzzle game where you and as a kid, I guess you play as both the dad and the child. Anywho, you go and you guys are just hanging out, exploring out in the world, whatever. And each level is basically you, either the kid or the dad, getting from one point to the other. So you either build stuff to like you rearrange Lego pieces so you can maneuver to the end goal, and that's the majority of it. You get from one place to the other by moving pieces around, placing them so you can traverse through it. And that's all of it for the most part. There's some other puzzles that come up that I don't want to spoil it, but it's as simple as that. The story is just a journey for like the guy goes to work, comes back with his kid to play with his kid and stuff, but one day the kid goes out and starts adventuring on his own while the dad's at work, and now the journey begins until they meet up and come back. That's it. Cute, fun. Also very cheap as well. I think it's like $20, maybe 25, I don't know. It looks fantastic. So again, like if you have the GPU horsepower, set everything to max, and it's literally like each level is like a small little grid, right? With some Lego pieces on top, but everything's rendered awesome. Like it looks great. You know, physically based rendering. Everything looks great. Sounds great too. Like when you start moving around the pieces and they start hitting each other, and there's some physics in it too, so you see things like falling around. Aesthetically, it's just great. Very chill Lego game. I don't think it's co-op at all because it's just you traversing on your own. And that's about it. Whew. That caffeine's wearing off.
Oh,
And that's it. I also recommend it. So I got 3 games here. Well, one of them was just an old game we've been recommending, which was Hades, but Huntdown and Lego, drastically different types of entertainment. Where Huntdown, you're like sweating your forehead's at like millimeters from the fucking screen because you're trying to focus and get to the end boss. Where Lego is like complete opposite. You're just hanging out, enjoying the music, the vibes, and just getting that kid, to the other side of the level, right? Kelsey in the chat, did you guys see they delayed the Hogwarts game again by another year? Yeah. I
That
hope it.
sucks.
Yeah, I hope it's a good thing. Like, oh, it's just we have our vision. We just need to sort it out, right? Instead of like we don't know what the fuck we're doing, so we're delaying it. Like that's the worst case scenario. Like they're delaying it because just shit isn't fun, and they're just trying to find a way to make it fun.
I always give it the benefit of the doubt and say it's for the best when something gets delayed. Um, and then if it's something I'm interested in, I end up buying. If I still have interest in the game from all the delays and I buy it and it's asked, I'm like, well, I guess I know why they kept delaying it.
Yeah, that's the worst case scenario. It's like they'll delay it over and over because it's not coming together. That's the worst case.
You're
But
my best
hopefully,
friend.
yeah, hopefully, that's my best friend. What do you mean, Plank?
Feel real bad.
Oh, Sweetie, I think it was,
Yeah.
and Doja Cat.
Boba bop.
Trying to make fun of me, boy.
Yeah.
Okay, I would say that's unforgivable, right? Randall, what do you think of that?
Of what?
Of how unforgivable that statement was, right?
Oh, this is your segue.
Yes, sir. This is my segue. So you saw a movie called The Unforgivable.
Yeah. Came out in
Diablo.
Yeah,
2021.
the way that sounded, Randall, this fucking movie was unforgivable of how bad it
No, it
was.
wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't a bad movie.
Okay.
Um, so it was directed by Nora Finchite. She did System Crasher, Without the World, and Boulevards End. None of those movies I've ever seen or heard of.
Okay, I was gonna say, like, have you seen all of these?
Nah.
We have a new bar, which is, was it better than Cosmic Sin?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because he's so quiet, and I'm like, why is he taking so long to answer this?
Because I had to remember for a second what Cosmic Sin was.
Oh, now he has a scale in the chat. Cosmic
How's
Sin to Velocipaster. That actually is that's a no, Brian. That's an actual range. Because Velocipaster, that if it makes me laugh that hard, then we're good.
in terms of comedy? Or is
Yeah,
it just in general? Because in that, I don't see how that makes sense.
comedy, right? Because Cosmic Sin was like not even funny but bad. Anyway, let's get back to it.
So the movie stars Sandra Bullock, Viola Davis. I don't know how you pronounce his last name, so I'm gonna hack it up. But it's Vincent D'Onofrio.
Oh,
I
Kingpin.
think you got it first try.
Yeah, Vincent D'Onofrio.
You.
And John Barenthal.
Oh, we have the Punisher. We got Kingpin. We got the lady who leads the Suicide Squad. We got Sandra Bullock. I don't think she's been in a superhero movie.
Nah.
I don't
Okay.
think so.
Gotcha. All right.
So basically, I don't know what the budget or the revenue was because I couldn't find anything on it. It was a stream release. I don't know if it was. I'm pretty sure it was in theaters, but I don't know. But anyway, the movie is about
No, this is a
Sandra
Netflix
Bullock.
show. Netflix shows it's exclusive to Netflix. They don't do theater unless they're trying to get like like a Oscar or something. Then they'll do limited release. Go ahead.
Okay. Um. So the movie is about Sandra Bullock and her, I believe, 5-year-old sister. Um. Basically, what ends up happening is both parents are dead, and they're living in a house by themselves. So I guess it gets to a point where, like, no parents are there, so none of the bills are being paid. So they come to collect the house pretty much.
Oof.
But her, huh?
I said woof.
Oh,
Like a damn.
because she's a teenager. She's not even at this point. She's
Oh,
not
okay.
even an adult.
Okay.
Um, so they come to collect. Of course, they get the law enforcement involved, and uh, she ends up being accused of killing a sheriff during this whole process because the sheriff's uh he ends up dying. I don't want to spoil how he died, but
Okay. I was about to say that's
In the
quite the
works.
jump. Like, oh, I'm here to collect your house, and then Some guy
because
dies.
the people that were trying to collect the house were like being extremely and like unrealistically like forceful. Like they must really love their job to be like this aggressive. And she was like, "I'm not. We're not leaving." You know. Um. So yeah, that was a huge problem. It was like a little bit in the beginning of the movie and like kind of like a flashback. Like as the movie progresses, they'll like go back and flashback and they'll show like different pieces of that particular segment. And
Okay.
she ends up doing 20 years for killing a sheriff. And the movie takes place after that, after like as soon as she gets out.
Okay.
And now she's trying to you get to see what people go through when they get out of prison, like the whole like being put back into the system, finding a place to live, getting a job, all that stuff. Like didn't having like your uh I forget what like I forget what they're called, but like you're assigned a detective or
Parole
Your
officer.
parole
uh,
officer, your PO.
your PO um constantly. And I felt like her PO was kind of a jerk, but it was weird. He was like in between like a bad cop, good cop, because like most of the way he would converse with her was like very aggressive and like demeaning, because he just like, oh, you was in prison for killing a cop for 20 years. You're a piece of trash, but you're out now. This is what life is, that type of situation. What I thought, he's supposed to be trying to help her, but he's like verbally abusing her, but at the same time, he's like also trying to keep her on the straight and narrow.
Right.
So
What year
the
does it
movie,
take place? Does it take place like now or
yeah,
okay?
um, that's pretty much the movie, man. It's just her trying to like work her way back into the system, but then a large majority of the movie is centered around her trying to get to her sister because
Okay.
when the whole thing went down, her sister was 5 years old, which means that now she lives with another family, and of course, that family feels like, oh, this is our daughter because we raised her. And
Well,
now
I
they
mean,
look,
at 25, she's probably at like an apartment or something, right? That's weird.
I don't know. I mean, she does have her own place, but she's still, I don't know.
Okay.
You had to watch the movie, but
Gotcha. Gotcha.
basically,
Gotcha.
her family that raised her is very protective. Um, maybe she was younger than 5. I don't think she was, but whatever. So yeah, the movie is about Sandra Bullock trying to get to her sister, trying to rekindle the relationship with them, but of course the family ain't trying to have it. They just see her as one way. I thought the acting was really good. It's especially between Sandra Bullock and Viola Davis because Viola plays like she plays the wife of a I forget what position he holds, but he deals with legal stuff.
Okay.
That's what Vincent played. That's the role he plays because Viola and Vincent are married. And she's very protective of her family, obviously. So
Yeah.
there's a part where her and Sandra Bullock have a conversation because her husband is helping Sandra Bullock in a roundabout way.
Okay. That's
And on
weird.
top of it, they end up moving into Sandra Bullock's house, the house that they grew up in.
Got it.
So it's been renovated and everything like that. It's like looks different, but it's like countryside type stuff. So it's like a house with a huge like acre of land or whatever.
Jeez. They got
So
horses and
huh?
and cows. Is that what they got?
Yeah, I mean, you don't see any animals, but they could. That's how much land they have. So the dynamic between them two, Viola and Sandra Bullock, was really cool because it's like Viola is concerned is con she is sure that she's a bad person
Oh,
Convinced.
because
convinced is the
That's
word you're
right.
looking for then.
yeah, convinced. She is sure that this woman is bad. You killed a cop. You did the 20 years. Deal with it. That
Yeah.
and she's telling her, this it's not what you think. And when you find out in the movie what happened, like the twist, you're like, wow. It like really like to me that part in the movie was the best part in the movie.
Oh,
That
finding out what
conversation
actually
between
happened.
the two, huh?
Finding out what actually happened.
Yeah, but
Hmm.
it's the way it happened because it happens in the middle of an argument,
Okay.
like a very heated argument. And I love to see like when the situation changes, when things shift in a movie, or when things shift in an argument, because it's like the person who's arguing with you is so they're like 100% sure they know everything. No, this is what it is. You're this, blah 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 blah. But then when you hit them with that wake up, it's like they quiet.
The
Yeah.
fucking sound is like, oh shit, slow motion. It's black and white.
Mm-hmm. So I thought it was a good movie. It was very dreary. Um,
I mean, yeah, it's not happy. Doesn't seem like it's a bunch of happy topics here, right?
it's not happy at all, bro. There is no sunshine and rainbows. There's no brightness. There's no nothing. It's just problems after problems after problems.
I
But
mean, that sounds like life. That's what I like. Drama shows you what life is, right?
yeah,
Oof, that was
yeah, I recommend it. It's not like oh, this movie was amazing, but it was good. The reason why I'm saying this movie was good was because of the dynamic between Viola and
and
Sandra Bullock.
Sandy.
Your boy John Parenthal, he did a good job. I mean, he kind of plays himself in a lot of movies. Even his mannerisms seem to be the same.
Okay.
Um, but he did some junk that I thought was kind of messed up, so I was like, I didn't really like his character after that.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
He sometimes has those roles where his character does some shady stuff. So,
well, it wasn't anything shady. It was more under the line of coward,
oh,
like yeah,
okay.
without giving too much away.
No, that's fair. Uh, you said you do recommend it. Okay, I could probably add that in my backlog. Watch some Sandy Bully. Sandy Bully. I wonder if she would hate that nickname, right? Yeah, because bully sounds like it's a negative. Like,
Probably Bandy Solok.
I think that's worse because that's not even right.
Oh,
She's probably like, "What the hell's wrong with him?" Bandy Solok? That doesn't make any sense.
no.
I mean, that's the same for Sandy Bully. So I guess it just sounds
Oh.
funnier to say, mostly because I come out of watching or Huntdown. So I need weird names. Anywho, what's our Swan song, Randall?
So Swan Song was also I noticed that there seems to be a theme with these two movies that I watched, and that theme is dreary because this is also another dreary movie. Um, it stars, well, actually, it was directed by Benjamin Cleary. Somebody I don't know who he is at all. He did some movie called Stutter and a movie called Wave. Both I've never heard of.
Okay.
Um, so the movie stars Mahershala Ali. Everyone knows who that is. He's the new Blade. He was also in Spider Man Into the Spider Verse, the Green Book. He's in Alita Battle Angel,
Luke Cage,
Luke Cage.
But he was in
Moonlight.
Moonlight too, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Also stars Naomi Harris, who was in Skyfall. She plays Moneypenny.
Yes.
She's also was in Pirates of the Caribbean and Rampage with The Rock.
What was her name?
Naomi Harris.
The second you see her, Brian, you're gonna know who she is.
Oh,
And that right there,
Um,
audio listeners, is him finding out who she was. I told you.
Also stars Aquafina. Obviously everyone knows who she is. She was in Shang-Chi, Raya of the Last Dragon. I didn't know she was in The Simpsons, but she was in The Simpsons and Jumanji. And Glenn Close, she played Nova Prime in Guardians of the Galaxy, the older lady.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know she is.
She was also in Simpsons too. Didn't know that.
Simpsons have had a lot of guest characters, like celebrities and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. So like I'm sure
I believe.
everybody here has probably been in Simpsons. If not, they're going to be, right?
Mm.
Like I got an email from them saying when can I do an episode, so that's coming out soon. Spoilers, I guess. I just broke NDA.
Yeah.
And what are they gonna do, right?
Okay, so this movie is interesting because it's about Cameron Turner, which is the character that Mahershala plays. He is terminally ill, like he's sick and he's dying. Like he is going to die. There's no getting around that.
Like a
But they live
like a cancer thing, or
they don't exactly go into specifics on what his disease is, but they just they just make it a key point to notify the audience like it's very progressive and like
he's not gonna make it.
he has like maybe months before he dies.
Damn.
And that, of course, as the movie goes like progresses on, like you can see he's like getting worse. It's not visual. He doesn't visually get worse, but like he's like coughing more. He's like spitting up blood, that type of deal. So what's unique about this movie is that they live in the near future, is at least the way the synopsis explains it. But technology is like way more advanced. So much more advanced that they are able to copy humans cell for cell, meaning like you and the copy are indistinguishable.
Okay.
Like no one can tell you if it's the original you or if it's the clone. And the clone, he talks like you, he acts like you, he smells like you, he has all your memories, everything. It is an exact copy of you.
Okay. I mean, we already got some. Okay.
So basically the movie is about him dealing with the fact that he is going to die and he has this opportunity presented before him where should he allow them to clone him so that this clone of himself can live with his family without telling them.
Yeah. So, quick question. If you're copied to the T to the cell, don't you just have the same illness?
No, they removed that.
How's it a copy?
What do you mean? How is it a copy?
Yeah. If you're able to remove it, then remove it out of me. How are
I
you?
don't know. That's a loophole in the movie. That's the same question I asked myself.
There's also another
But
one. You
they're
can't
able to
copy.
grow him. They're
There,
able to grow him without the disease.
there's also another thing. You can't just copy over memories because we don't have storage like that. Our
You don't
They
have
brain,
ha-
floppy disk?
yeah, like
no, they have a device that um so basically the way they showed it in the movie is you and your clone sit in the room
okay,
and they put this device on your head. And it's not like it's not like Total Recall where like you just go in there and you be like, okay, I want a clone. They put you in the chair, made the clone, and then like 8 hours later you have a clone and then you're completely copied. It's like a whole process.
okay,
And it's like over several like weeks, maybe even a month.
okay,
But basically, you sit in one of the processes is like you sit in a chair. This thing you put this thing on your head, and then there's a thing on the clone's head, and you go through this exercise of recalling all your memories. Like you think about stuff like
okay. Now this
you're
checks out.
growing up as
Yeah,
huh?
okay. Now it checks out because the way we do memories is a certain pattern of things firing in our brain. It's not like stored with ones and zeros, so we can't copy that over. But if you have a
Yeah, it's
machine
not.
tracking all those things that are firing, you can replicate it on. That makes sense. That
Yeah,
answered my
like
question.
so like it when he's when he's remembering or when he's going through like all his memories, not only is it copying those memories or he's getting those memories too, but it also like triggers like pathways to other memories.
Okay.
So he remembers everything the original guy remembers.
Yeah. Okay.
Um But the big issue of the movie is, do I tell my wife? Because
that he's been replaced.
yeah, that he's going to be replaced. Because at this point in the movie, he is still alive.
Yeah, but
Because like
then does she know that he had that he had an illness?
no,
Okay, so she literally doesn't know anything.
no.
Okay.
Like there's a part in the movie where like she's in the bed sleep and he had got up and went into the bathroom and passed out and like time went by and because she sleeps she doesn't know he's passed out in a bathroom but he wakes up
And he's like, "Oh
pretends
shit."
like nothing happened.
Yeah. Okay.
Um
Okay. I'm kind of trying to cover my bases here and, you know,
yeah,
to call
everything's a secret.
bullshit. Yeah, like I'm like, okay, come on.
Everything's a secret. Like even the doctor that's played by like Glenn Close, she insists on informing him like, if you do this, no one can know because once someone else knows, then uh, it's like breaking protocol. Like they can't go through with it. Like it has to be done a specific way. So he was having doubts about it. It's like, you know, this isn't me. Like I'm me. This is something they a copy of me. Like how am I supposed to trust this thing with my family, with my wife, with my son?
Yeah.
So this is where Aquafina's character comes into play because she has also been copied. And when you go to this facility, like it's like isolated, it's like on another island. When you go to this facility and you go through all the like cloning process and all the exercises so that this clone can act exactly like you, this is where you reside until you die. So Aquafina's original character is
It's
still there on that island.
okay. So, but I have so many questions. And then the first question is, the clone knows it's a clone and lives with that
No. Okay, so when the clone is first made and and you're given like
the memories.
when they give it conscious and it's awake, it knows because you both have to do exercises together
Okay. Yeah.
so that you have like the same memories, same mannerism, even though he kind of does it already innately, but still they still do these all these exercises because they want to make precautions to make sure that everything is exact, right? But once he goes back to like away from the island, like to actually be integrated into the family and people like that, they wipe his memory.
All right. Nah, this was the moment I was waiting for. Bullshit. Right? You just wipe that one memory with what that device you put on your head.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Go ahead. Now I'm trying to.
Anything that has to do with them creating him and him knowing that he's a clone, that part is erased.
Okay.
So Aquafina's character is on this island and you know she's also been copied. So he actually goes and sees her copy. And she also has a daughter, and the daughter can't tell. And he gets to see like the relationship, the dynamic, like how they interact basically. And of course, neither one of them like the idea, but it's like at least for Aquafina's character, she wants to do it because I mean she doesn't have anyone else, and she has a daughter, so she just she
She had
doesn't
no
want to
choice.
leave her.
Yeah.
Yeah, him on the other hand, I mean
He's got his
he's just
wife too.
concerned about his wife and son. Like he more so his wife because she ended up losing someone, and he did it. It's kind of like a rock and a hard place because it's like if he tells her like, "Oh, I'm dying," she just lost somebody really close to her, and that actually caused like ripples in
Mental
their
health. Yeah.
relationship.
And mental health issues and stuff. So, hey,
Yeah,
by the way, you're going to go through that again.
yeah. So that's pretty much what the whole movie is about: is him trying to cope with the decision of if he should go through with it, if he shouldn't go through with it. Of course, he gets into arguments with the clone because he's like, "You're not me," even though this dude is doing exactly every single thing that he does.
Weird.
Um, what else? Um, The technology was really cool because it wasn't like it wasn't unbelievable. It was very grounded. Like one of the things that I thought was really cool, especially for me like an artist, he's also an artist, and the way he works is like the desktop, like it's like a hologram, but it's completely opaque. So like it's like floating in the air. You know how like holograms work where you can see the light from the object that's shooting the image that's being projected in the air.
Yeah,
Whereas none of that. It just looks like a screen floating in the air, but it's like you can put your hand through it because it's not tangible. But you can kind of touch it because you can like make adjustments and stuff like that. I don't know how they're doing it. I don't know. They never explained the tech for it, obviously, but it looked really cool.
there's like,
There's
wait,
like
just add
other
this in
stuff like
here.
that. Huh?
It's another way to sell the fact that they can actually do this cloning tech. If they're like, oh, they got floating monitors, right? They got floating holograms. They could probably do it. They're way into the future. It's a way to sell the audience, I would imagine.
Yeah, but it's not way into the future where it's like flying cars. I mean, there's self driving cars, but I mean they have that now. But
Barely.
it's just it's sprinkled around, in little different things.
Okay.
You know, that's really cool. Um, I think that's pretty much it, man. But I do have a question
Oh,
for you
okay.
guys.
Oh, okay. In terms of the same uh movie, or is it completely separate
Yeah,
from? Okay, go for
yeah.
it.
No, this is a movie. Would you guys do it?
I mean, what? No, Randall. I want to be the next evolution, which is androids. What?
Well,
Hey,
let in this
let's
scenario,
let's just add another
you have
fucking.
a disease.
I
You
die.
are going to die.
Then I die.
But you have the option to
I'm dying.
create another Anthony.
Nope. Dead.
What about you, Brian?
That's not me.
I'm dead, Randall. I'm dead. All right. Yeah, that was my time to die. I'm dying there. I'm not prolonging my life. I'm still dying. So I'm what? That makes no sense, Randall. Why would I do that? Why would I
Well,
do that?
my perception on it is that I'm assuming that for those who do decide to do it, they're probably doing it for the other people, obviously, because like you said, you yourself don't benefit from it, but um, they would probably be doing it for their family members or their spouse or if they have children.
I would call them liars, and they shouldn't have been together then, right? They're
I'm
liars.
assuming this shit's not cheap either, so you spend a whole bunch of money making a fake you.
Yeah, they're liars. Don't do it. This is a PSA. If you have that option and you're doing it, you're a
Listen,
liar.
kids.
Yeah, you listen, kid. You're a liar if you choose to do this. You're lying to your entire family. You're lying to the people you love. You're a liar. Die. Let them know you're dying. They'll grieve. They'll move on with their lives. Don't lie to them. End of PSA. So, Randall, what would you pick? You gonna be a liar?
I don't know.
You gonna be a liar?
I don't know.
Hmm?
It depends.
Hmm?
I mean, I definitely agree with the whole like, if it's your time to go, it's your time to go.
Yep.
Uh,
Stick with the truth. No, it'll hurt
but
you.
I'm thinking about
That's not
I'm
true.
thinking about I'm also if I'm married, I would have to make a decision based on my relationship with my wife and if I had children because I mean it would have to be really extreme for me to do some junk like this. Like it had to be on some old like if I die, my wife would commit suicide type junk. If I knew that was an option for her, then maybe I might do it. But
Nah, bro.
I
Then
think
nah. Then she needs help. She needs to be to a therapist. She needs other kind of help.
I mean
That's not a solution,
I think
right?
that's subjective. I mean, I don't think it's healthy. I agree with you on that. But some people form attachments to people that are very strong. Like you hear a lot of times like older relationships, people who've been married like 45, 50 years. Um, the husband dies and then the wife dies soon after. And it's not because she died because of health reasons, it's because she lost her will to live. because
That's called broken heart disease.
Yeah,
Or
that's not.
broken heart syndrome.
That's
That's
different
still
than.
health stuff.
Yeah, and also that's different than killing yourself, right? Those are two vastly different things.
well, yeah, I agree with you on that, but I'm just saying it's still a way of like ending your life.
It's not. No, that what Brian's talking about is like that. You don't just choose to die there. You just because you're depressed or sad or whatever. You're so old that your body just gives up.
I'm not disagreeing with you on that. I'm saying the end result is the same. You're in both situations, the person is dead.
Okay, which is fine. You'll see yourself in whatever you believe in the afterwards, right? There is a difference because if you're religious and you take your own life, you're not going to the same place. But if you are with someone you like and they just die because they're sad, you're both going to the same place. So no need to lie to them, right? Or am I missing something?
I don't know. I don't.
What?
I don't know what point you're trying to make. I
Don't be
mean,
a
I
liar. That this option is not an option.
Convince me or something.
It's not. I am trying to convince everyone. This is not an option.
Oh,
This
well,
movie,
I mean,
that's not an option. You're gonna die. You're gonna die. All right. Don't lie to your peeps.
at the end of the day, people are going to do what they want to do.
No, not when I speak here. Right.
Oh,
Where 2 billion people listen to this fucking thing. Right.
Good luck with that.
No one will do this. Someone offers you this question that Randall just asked you and you pick to lie to everyone you love, I'll see you in hell. I will go down there and visit for a bit and we're gonna knuckle it up. Right? And let me
I
tell
don't
you
know,
something.
visit.
Yeah, I'll be there I'll be waiting for you down there. And we're gonna fight. And it's no first to 10, it's first till you can't anymore. And that's gonna be 2,000 years of me just throwing hands at you. Right?
Has anyone ever done like a story, whether it's like an anime or like a comic or just a movie or a show, where it's just like hell fight night? Like you're stuck there, just do martial arts. You know what I mean? Like a. I mean, I guess Yu Yu Hakusho did. The tournament arc is essentially that.
But it wasn't in hell, was it?
I want to say it
I
was.
thought it
I
was
know it's
just
in the afterlife. I know it's in like the spirit world, but
Oh,
I don't know if
he
that's
was with
considered
Abel?
hell. Yeah,
Abel was there? That's wild.
yeah. He paid the $4.95.
444 1-800 444 444.
I think you missed the number there.
Probably. Miranda, what did you decide on? You gonna be a liar?
I did. You wasn't listening. I said I don't know.
You have to
Said
pick
it.
one. Randall, you don't just know I don't know. You're now about to
So are
die.
you asking me to know what I think, or are you asking me to just say what you want me to say?
I need you to think right now, Randall, you are dying, you have to pick something.
Like current situation right now, you're in that predicament.
Right now, this second.
That's what I'm saying. I don't. That's not a question I can answer because I can't. The decision that would weigh whether I go left or right depends on my relationship with my spouse.
Randall,
Randall,
right now.
this second, like if I walk over there and slap you right in the mouth and you die, and that slap was poisonous.
Oh, you mean like if like my current situation, if I was gonna die? Yeah, I wouldn't. No, I have no reason to clone myself.
That's
There
all
you
we
go.
asked. That's it, Randall. That's all we asked. I didn't mean in the future, this second. There you go, Randall. You're not a liar. Congratulations, you made it. I can put my wrench away. I don't have a wrench here. Sorry, guys. I didn't mean to lie to you like that. Anywho, do you recommend people watching it? Like, what's the pacing like? It seems like a lot of shit happens in it. Or is it mostly him?
Yeah, I recommend it. I started out by saying that.
Is it mostly him talking to Aquafina, trying to gauge whether or not to do it? Or does he actually make a decision and we see the after effects? Or
Nah,
does it...
she has like a relatively small part in the movie. I mean, she goes back and forth. Well, I should say the director goes back and forth, like visiting her because, like I said, she lives on the island. Like she's been cloned. Her clone has been fully integrated into civilization, so she cannot leave that place. And I mean, she's dying, so she doesn't want to. You know, she's like getting worse every day.
They have gigabit internet on that island, or
They spend most of their time like sitting out in the woods and
No, thank you.
the lake
No.
because it's beautiful. It's really beautiful place. It's not like it's not like you go to the hospital and the hospital is supposed to make you better and everything just reminds you of death. It's like there, even though you're dying and you know you're going to die, everything around that place is really beautiful. So they spend a lot of their time like, I mean, they have television and stuff like that because there's a part where they're watching TV, but they spend a lot of their time outdoors.
What type of television, Randall? We talking OLED
I don't.
projectors,
I'm
right?
pretty sure it was advanced. It was no junk you can buy at Best Buy.
Okay,
I can
just
tell you
making
that
sure.
How do you know? Let's go to Best Buy real quick.
because the stuff that they had in that movie doesn't exist.
Oof.
You sure? When's the last time you went to Best Buy?
What's today? Monday.
Yes,
I
sir.
went a Friday.
Let's
Yeah.
go to Best Buy real quick. Then it's been a while.
It's been 72 hours, Randall. You know what can happen in
I think
72
in
hours?
72 hours there's been a release in an advancement in technology.
Randall,
I'm pretty sure.
every
I-
second there's advancement in technology. All right.
Yeah, but I said release. I didn't say like a breakthrough.
Maybe they forgot a box at Best Buy, and now there's some like secret government, tech there.
Hey, just because they didn't make a viral info doesn't mean something new wasn't put in Best Buy.
Yeah, they probably have something new, crazy. You could probably teleport with what they got at Best Buy.
Yeah, I'm not doing it.
Didn't you want to teleport? What do you mean you're not doing it?
My own merit, not with no device.
Oh,
Yeah, you get it.
what if we what if we put the device in you?
No, because I'm not doing it.
Oh,
It's the device that's doing it.
oh,
I mean, if it's anything like it's done in the movies, especially like Star Trek or whatever, like it's like breaking down your body molecularly and then reconstructing it. And for me, that leaves room for error. Versus like if I can do it myself, like biologically, like my body is doing it, so it knows how to do it correctly.
There's this huge margin of error.
Yeah, because now you have
How you
human
do
error.
that?
Because you have human error
If your
now.
body is designed to do something,
Random.
then that's better than having a machine telling it to do it.
Every time they show teleportation, what do they do? Picture where you want to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's always a chance right before you teleport, you think of something else weird. Like if you're trying to go somewhere, I just go sharp fence. You're gonna picture a sharp fence you're gonna land on.
Or be inside
Okay.
of it.
Okay.
Especially because it's a human skill, it's even more room for error.
Yeah, we can. I don't think you need to reconsider, Randall.
I don't know. I don't necessarily agree with that.
Because what if one day you're like, you know what, chata feels really good right now. Now you're drunk, right? And you know what happens to the body when it's drunk?
I don't think it would be any different than like the things that we learn to do now. Like we learn how to walk, you learn how to talk. I think it because it's part of your body. It's just another.
Well, hold on. So we learn how to walk. Does that mean once you learn how to walk, you've never tripped?
Yeah, of course you trip.
Now
So now imagine
tripping
into a spiked fence.
Yeah, like
All right, if you want to go down this path, what happens if like the machine that's teleporting you, the power goes out right in the middle of the teleport?
you're not one
we're
with
not-
the galaxy. Like
We're not arguing that the machine won't be, there's not room for error. We're saying there's even more if it's just a skill that you have in your body.
Yes.
I don't.
Both in
Both
any
have errors.
situation, there's always error in any option you choose.
I agree with that.
But the human one, because of how we as humans are flawed already,
Yeah, you guys as
on top of
humans.
stupid, it's even worse. People choke on their own saliva, Randall.
Well, I put it to you like this: if a day comes and we have between option A and option B, B being the machine, you guys could choose the machine. I'm going to choose me.
Randall, I've been alive on this planet for over 31 years now. And you know what I would bet on more than humankind? Technology. Okay?
Honestly.
All right?
Same
I've
guy.
been here for 31 years and watched humans just shit the bed for 31 years, Randall. Right?
I'll give you another example. People sleepwalk.
Mhm.
So now you could be in the middle of deep sleep, just teleporting. You could be just teleport. Imagine just teleporting to someone's pool, and then you wake up to that. Whereas if I had technology, like let's say a watch, all right, good night, guys.
Disabled.
I'm not gonna sleep and impale myself onto a fence.
I thought of more crass things happening. You just sleep inside.
None of us know how teleporting works as far as like those who
Activating
can
it.
do it, like Nightcrawler and
Well,
I
because
feel like it's
that's made up, right?
I
Like
f-
all this is made up.
yeah, everything we're talking about right now is made up.
It's made up. Well, for you
Oh
guys.
yeah,
Yeah. And Brian just fucking teleports. Like,
But I always thought about it like it's kind of like I think Professor X explains it like having mutant powers is just like another muscle. Like you have to train that muscle and you get good at using it. So I would assume if you can teleport, it's the same way. It's just like another. It's either like a sixth sense or it's like another muscle that you have to train. You have to learn how to use, and then eventually it gets to the point where it's just like you don't think about breathing, you just breathe, or you
no,
don't think about walking,
you
you just
keep
walk.
forgetting the human element. All of that breaks down over time.
Yeah, I'm not
Breathing,
saying that it
all the
doesn't.
other stuff that with tech, remove it. We're done. Oh, it's busting up, replace it. Right?
Yeah, but just like you say, like you don't know if your brain or whatever might cause you to mess up during a teleporting situation. It's the same thing can happen with tech. Like a piece can break in the middle of you teleporting. The power could go out in the middle of you teleporting. Um, even in that movie, what was the name of that movie with Chris Pratt? Tomorrow
Mario?
War.
Oh.
That's exactly what happened. They teleported them jokers, and it was supposed to be in one location, and they ended up teleporting them in midair, and people was falling to their deaths.
Well, there's a lot of things wrong with Tomorrow War in terms of tech.
that
So
movie's not something I would. That movie
yeah,
was ass.
that's not something right.
Yeah, but I mean, the movie might be trash to you, but it's still like
So
teleporting through tech.
you're still
The
missing
same thing
the
happens.
key
Okay, the
part
same
though.
thing happens in Terminator.
You're still missing the key part though. If you have that's your skill, it can. There's no off switch. With something that's removable, if I don't have that watch on me, there's no way I'm going to be on a fence.
Why fence? Did you watch part 5 of JoJo again?
No,
Okay. No spoilers, but
it's
there's a
because
fence involved.
when I was in college, still instead of someone doing a lecture, they're watching American Horror Story. I think it's the witch season, and they're learning how to teleport. And one of them fucked up and then impaled himself on a fence.
Oh my god.
Mm.
I'm good on that.
That's
Oh.
essentially all it comes down to. Either way, like I said, there's room for error. But when it's something that's not a skill that you just have access to 24/7, you take out the randomness. You decide when you're betting when you're betting your livelihood.
Mm. I personally think you have more control over it than you think.
Again, I'm showing you real life situations that show we don't have full control of our bodies.
Yeah, but you don't go around peeing on yourself all the time. You don't like when you go to
Some
bed.
people
Do you
do. Some people have that as human beings, like they can't control their bladder. That's a real thing.
older? But we're talking about us now.
That's not an older thing. You don't have to be
People
old to
still
have
pee the
that.
bed.
Yeah, people still be in the bed when they sleep.
That
People
don't
shit
have
themselves while sleeping.
Say again?
that don't have some sort of condition.
Yeah. That's just what happens.
I mean, I've heard people who have a condition or some sort of illness. Yeah, they wet the bed or whatever. Or when you get older, that becomes an issue. But I've never wet the bed before.
And you're
Except
just you're on that percentage of people who don't. Right? Like it's just percentage based.
my argument with that is that there are things about our bodies that we do right now
Yeah.
that we have control over, that we've had control over for as long as we've been on this planet. So I don't think that if we have the innate ability to teleport, I don't think it would be any different than learning how to use the bathroom or learning how to walk.
Again, we're skipping over the part that technology would lessen our chances of fucking that up.
I don't know. Mm.
There's error on both. I'm cool on
Well,
that.
I'm staying with biological. You guys can stay with the technology.
I mean, it's the better choice. Android, right? You're talking to one right now, so like it's just the better choice. Rely on tech.
I wouldn't.
You're welcome.
I mean, I don't want to teleport in general. I'm just saying. There's that one chance I teleport by accident in front of traffic, and I'm like, well,
And that's it. And that's
Why?
fucking
I mean,
it.
I don't understand why you assume that you're not going to be able to teleport correctly.
again, there's always room for error,
But
I
you
mean,
can't be
and
like
with
you
how
can't like
active,
go around being
with
yeah.
how with how
You can walk
active my
around in front of
with
you
how
and get in.
active my mind is, I know I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go to Seattle inside a deer. That's gonna be right before I teleport. I'm thinking that.
The heck?
that's gonna be gross because the deer's
It
gonna
depends.
explode.
You know, right? It depends. It depends. It might be. So there's different forms of teleporting. I can't believe we're having this conversation. Like you can have a teleporting ability like where you rip a tear through time, kind of like they had in man, I forget the name of that movie with Christian Hate. Jumper. You can have
Jump.
something
Oh,
like that where you don't have to really worry about that because you're actually going through a
portals.
tear,
Yeah.
a portal. Or you could be like Nightcrawler where you can't teleport to some place you can't see. Well, actually, he can do it, but I mean, in most cases, people only teleport when when it has to do with Nightcrawler. He teleports to a location he's looking at. He doesn't teleport like just like I'm going to teleport to blah blah blah.
Didn't he teleport an entire plane of people to some place with his eyes closed?
Yeah, because he was looking at it. You talking about in space?
How did he look at it with his eyes closed?
He didn't have his eyes closed.
I want to say I think he did.
I thought
Talking
he had.
about in Dark Phoenix
Which
when
one?
they were in space.
The original. Is it the original trilogy? I don't remember, but I feel like there's a
In the
movie with
original
him.
trilogy, he teleported him on the other side into Cerebral. But that's when he was like, I can't. I normally don't. I've never done this before. I don't teleport to places I can't see. And then Professor X used his mind so that he can teleport from outside of the room into inside of the room.
So
So
he can still
he
do
didn't
it.
do it by himself. He did it with Professor X's power.
He let him do it a consistent way, but if he practiced it, he could do it. That's why I said he doesn't normally do this. So his will still work the same way.
He
Now,
said he can't do it.
you just said he said I don't normally do this.
Well, I believe he said he can't. I don't know. I have to go back and look at the movie, but I'm pretty sure he said he can't do it because he said for your very reason, he said he might end up in a wall. So Professor X helped him see the room so that he can teleport to the room.
So he's saying he won't, like he doesn't do it because of that. That still means he can do it.
That's
But
scary.
he has well, obviously he has control. If all
So
this time he doesn't do it,
that's what I'm saying though. He can still
I mean,
end
I'm
it.
not saying that he. So I understand what you're saying, but the fact is that he has the ability to do it, but he doesn't do it. He has that control.
Because he limits himself, yeah. So he can do
So that's
short
all
range
you need to
stuff.
do is limit yourself.
Again, that'll work for someone else like him who's done his whole life. With my mind, I'm gonna be like, all right, let me go to work, and I'm in a bus.
What the heck? Bro, you're a unique case, man. I mean, there might be other people that think like you, so I don't know.
So the question is in Jumper, because I didn't see that movie. When they make the tear, can
Uh,
they see through it and see where they want to go, or is it just like a magical looking portal and they walk through it?
I don't think we as the
they can only
viewers.
teleport to places they've been already.
No. So what I'm saying is the portal like thing's made, right?
Yeah.
Can they see the place that they intend to teleport through the portal, or is it just an opaque like color?
Well, they showed it in two different ways. Like in the cave, they can see into the room, to the house that they were teleporting to. But when he was on the street, the other dude was following him, it was just like you said, it's like an opaque like tear, like you can't see what's on the other side. So they showed it in two different ways. I don't know what determines why one is opaque and the other one you can see through.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't remember that much either.
Out of the two forms, I would rather make a portal, but at the same time, I'd rather have Rick's gun. And then if I don't want to teleport, I put the gun down.
Yeah.
huh?
Like
What do
Rick's
you mean,
gun.
huh?
Like the picture, like the Rick's gun where you can jump
Rick and
through.
Morty?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You thought I meant Walking Dead?
No, I
Coral.
put one and one together when you said gun. I was thinking revolving when you said gun. So I'm like, I don't understand what the
That
fuck.
teleports people
To the
Oh.
afterlife.
to the
1-800-444-4444. Yeah. I mean, that's to me, that's the ultimate.
Yeah, I would be okay with that if it's a teleporting gun.
What's it?
What's the difference? Because you're stepping through a portal. Your your body is not being reconstructed. You're just stepping through like a point in time. Versus like in Star Trek, they break down your body and then reconstruct it in another place.
Well, how does the other teleporting works?
Like what? Like Nightcrawler in them?
Yeah.
This the same way. Like they break down their body. Well, I'm assuming they don't.
They
They
never
don't
said.
act. He like goes into like a puff of dust. So I'm assuming his body breaks down.
Okay. All right. To teleport or nah? Yeah, I'm 31 years, Randall. We shit ourselves all over the place as often as we possibly can. I can't trust humanity. So I'm definitely tech, absolutely. Give me a watch, give me the Rick's gun, give me something else, right?
I think they both have their benefits. I mean,
Oh yeah, if you get hacked, then you can't teleport. Yeah, there's gonna be ups and downs for both.
or like, what if,
Or you get hacked and they send you to like a fucking
what if
bathhouse.
the device that's teleporting you, like the one that you're like, the one that's at the location you're at that teleports you, because usually the way teleporting works, like there needs to be a device where you're at and a device where you're going.
Oh, like a fast travel station.
Yeah. So what if the one is damaged where you're going?
Well, then that's the case that it wouldn't let you. Like that's just developing software. Check it
Well,
works.
I
It
don't mean
works.
like
Send them.
before. I mean like in the middle of it.
It'd be instantaneous. It wouldn't like you going through it would maybe break it, but you'll be complete on the other side. Like you'd be the last one to go through.
No, I feel like if I use that, the frame I leave point A, point B will get shut down, then I just get deleted. In my head. That's what would happen.
That's what Randall's, I'm assuming, asking for.
Yeah.
But if it's teleporting, it happens too fast.
You imagine if it's down for like a very small frame and then it corrupts you like data, and then I just have like 3 cocks.
Oh, I need that. I mean, no, I hope that doesn't happen.
Why would you want that?
Randall, why wouldn't you? Right? Come on.
That makes no sense.
It doesn't need to, Randall.
Makes
Well,
dollars on
well,
OnlyFans.
I retract my statement. It makes no sense for me. If you
Okay.
want appendages, then go for it.
Yeah, like Brian said,
Good luck
OnlyFans.
finding some chick that's gonna want to sleep with you.
She has 3 to choose from. What do you mean? She love that.
I'm almost 100% sure. You know what? I'm not gonna say that.
The world's a freaky place, friend. I wouldn't bet
Yeah,
on
that's not you saying no to any sexual thing on this planet. Randall, I've been alive for 31
Randall,
years.
There's
Right?
people who fuck cars.
Those are
That's-
yeah.
I have no words for that.
I've been alive for 31 years, Randall. I'm betting on technology, right? Like we can't. As human beings, we're too far down the rabbit hole, right?
If oh my god, what is the name of these people?
Tim Allen.
I really have to look this up because my memory is going.
Oof.
Spectrum. So if Spectrum was making teleporting machines, would you put your money on that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna die,
Really?
but I'm definitely gonna die. But not Spectrum. I mean Comcast, because Spectrum I had.
Either or.
Because
Wait,
I've had mixed. People say that
we have
Spectrum.
Comcast?
We have
have
Comcast.
Spectrum.
We have Comcast.
I thought we had Spectrum.
No, it was Comcast. I had Spectrum in my apartment, and people say the Spectrum sucks, but my time having Spectrum in my apartment, flawless. Like I don't. Yeah, if there was downtime, it's because there was downtime for like the block or something. And then I swapped over to Comcast, and they're like, "Let me show you what horrendous service is." Right? And that's what they've been doing ever since. Hey, you're gonna do a podcast on this time? Let's do maintenance at this time, right? Fam, do it overnight.
Well, I guess it's no perfect time to do maintenance because
Yeah, it is.
if it's not here, it's day somewhere else.
Randall, it was just this area. Like you could, I opened up. Hey, we're down. This area is going through maintenance.
I feel like if it's by area, you just look. You get your R&D guys crunch the numbers and see when people are least active on the internet,
And it's
just do
going to
it in
be
that time.
overnight.
I wouldn't think 8 in the afternoon. That's when people get home from work and neglect things.
Yeah, to play games and stuff. Like that's prime time for that area. I don't know. Whatever. I don't own Comcast. I don't work for Comcast.
I don't know.
Anyway, that's about it for the show, right? I hope after watching this, you're well informed and you can decide whether or not you want teleportation to happen biologically or through technology. Okay,
And if you would clone yourself.
and if you would clone yourself to lie to your fucking family, right, and your loved ones,
I feel like a lot of people is going to pick
to
the
lie.
clone.
Yeah, Randall. Because again, I've been alive for 31 years, Randall. And
I like how you keep saying that like that's a long time, but go ahead.
it's long enough to me to tell you that humans ain't shit, right? We'll lie to
Feel
you in
like-
your face. We'll betray you. We'll take you for for anything you have, and then laugh at you.
You know that one movie where they clone themselves to like harvest the organs in case they need it? It's
That's
things
the
like a
the
Jude
movie.
Law, right?
What's his name? The big black dude.
You?
Huh?
You?
No, man. From Green Mile.
Michael Clark Duncan?
Yeah, he was in the. It was him and
Me?
who?
He said me.
No, what the Johnny Depp's ex.
Amber Heard?
Yeah, it's them two. I forget the name of the movie, but that's what that movie was. They were cloning
Connors?
people. What?
Me?
Oh my.
So they were just cloning people for parts?
Yeah, so like let's say the main one, like I get a clone, right?
Okay.
And then my kidney erupts. They would harvest the kidney from the clone and give it to me. It's like an insurance plan, essentially.
What does the clone do in the meantime? Like, what if nothing
I don't
happens to you?
remember. Essentially, this is the premise, and then somehow the clone gets free, and then they're like, "Get that bitch."
Ah.
But
And
if I was in that situation, which is not related to anything we've been talking about, I would see my clone and then get real defensive of it and break him out myself. I'd be best friends with my clone.
okay, I can see that. And you guys
I guess
just-
even in that situation, maybe, like clone yourself or not, like the disease thing. Maybe for giggles, if I just had that money to blood clone them and then just be friends with them until I die.
Okay. That'd be pretty cool.
It'd be a cool way, yeah. Like you're dying slowly. You get essentially get to know yourself from the outside.
Yeah. I'm
I
cool
think
with
that'd be
that.
interesting.
I like that.
But I wouldn't hide. I wouldn't hide my clone. Like I would be like, honey, that's me.
That means I get 2 tonight? You
There you
sure
go.
do. Anyway,
So you're saying
who, me or Brian?
in terms of the movie, both of you,
Okay.
in terms of that movie, if he told her that this is a clone of me, and when I die, he's going to take over, you guys are okay with that?
There would never be a clone, Randall.
You just got finished saying that you would like to live with your clone.
I think
Yeah,
it's like that's a cool
But that's
idea.
yeah, it's a cool idea. That's a separate thing. That's a separate context. I wouldn't make a clone for that. Right? It's cool to make a clone, but I'm not gonna do it because she said it's against protocol.
So I'm saying, like, okay, let's say in Brian's scenario, you have a clone. And you get that privilege of learning yourself from the outside. You guys play games together, go hang out, pump iron, blah blah blah.
Oh, we're pumping.
You find out that you got a disease and you're gonna die. So would you be okay with him taking over after you're gone?
I'm dead, Randall. What does it matter? Yeah, that's what he wants.
Okay.
It's his life. I'm dead. Then Randall, there's nothing after death, right?
Okay, I get it, bro.
It's 5
Right?
I'm
a.m.
not
I'm
judging you.
nihilist.
All right. There's nothing. It's 5
It's
a.m.
5
to
a.m.
not.
I'm
Yeah,
nihilist.
I'm a nihilist. When we're done, we're rotting. Our body's done. Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
No.
So what happens
actually
afterwards? That has
happens,
nothing to do with
Anthony?
me.
What actually happens is life is actually a match in Smash Bros. And you have 2 more stocks left.
Oh shit.
What? I don't understand the reference.
Smash
in
Brothers.
Smash Bros, like competitive, you play by having a certain amount of lives. So what happens in real life is, say if I just revolvered Anthony right now,
Yeah.
he spawns again somewhere.
Yeah.
But he can only do it 3 more times.
No. It's,
Oh,
I don't
Forced-
remember if Smash, at least Ultimate, has 4 stocks or not.
I thought it was
think
3.
Melee did, but I don't remember Ultimate.
So 2 to 3 more times. Later is how much I got to live. Right. Which is not as good as cats, but it's something.
It's cool for cats.
It's cool
you
for.
guys ever see that movie Eighth Day with Arnold Schwarzenegger?
No, I don't think so.
It's a cloning movie, and basically,
I thought Total
They
Recall was the cloning movie.
yeah, but this is more recent. I mean,
Oh.
it's really old, but it's more recent than Total Recall.
Oh, okay.
But basically, like they clone people, but let's say like it's kind of like what Brian said, like if he revolves you,
Wait,
when
do you mean this?
so
Do you mean the 6th day?
is it 6th or 8th?
Hold on.
Just
You might be right. It might be 6th day.
me in the middle. It's 7th.
I think he's right. I think it's 6th day.
It's the 6th day, right? I've seen this movie.
Yeah, so you know, like, but the interesting part about it was like if like Bryant revolves you and then they take you to the hospital or will take you to the facility to get cloned. When your clone wakes up, he has that pain of getting shot.
Oh, no, I'm good.
You don't remember that?
I don't
Like the
remember.
dude
No.
who he got ran over by a truck or a car or something like that, and then when his clone woke up, he had the pain of being ran over on his chest.
There's some things you shouldn't be laughing. It's not funny to get hit by a car or a fire truck. It's not funny at all. Let's say that right before we preface. But every time I've seen someone like a video of someone get like hit, but not like injured badly, it is I laugh, right? But it's not funny, right? It's not funny to laugh at someone getting hit by a car, right? Can we confirm this, you guys?
I
I'm
feel
gonna
like you're
send
trying
you-
to convince yourself, not us.
I'm gonna send you a clip, Anthony.
No.
This is from a movie that a friend of mine swears he didn't make and it exists somewhere. But I know this is a rough draft. I'm gonna send it to you specifically. And you let me know. Don't let me know. I'm gonna know you saw the scene because there's no way you don't laugh at this.
Okay.
Is somebody getting hit?
It's in a movie. In a movie.
Get inside the animals. I can't watch this right now, right? Because I'm sure it's from a movie.
It's from Freddy Got Fingered.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be
It's
copyright.
called what?
Freddy Got Fingered.
Alan says, I know what scene is happening. I can't watch it because of the sound. I'm sure that'll catch me on DMCA. I'll watch it after the
It's from a
pod.
movie. A friend of mine, he's pretty humble, so he'll say, "Oh, this guy made this movie. Everybody saw this, but it's a rough draft. He hasn't never released the movie. Is what I believe to be the truth.
Sure. I don't know what
Like,
you
there's
just
there's
said.
no way. You could if you watch the whole movie, maybe
Okay.
from the scene alone, you're like, "There's no way this fucking exists." This
Oh, as
movie
in like a
exists.
thing. No, okay.
This is a home in my head. It's my
It's a
friend's
home-
home movie.
Oh, okay. And your reality, got it. Okay, now I'm caught up. I'm slow, man. My variant is probably fast as shit, right?
My variant is over here going double uranium on an album that came out 2 weeks ago.
Shit on me, dude. 2 weeks?
Should be.
That was last week.
No, it was the 7th.
Shit, time flies when you're listening to 103.5 Dawn FM.
Like the song says, you're out of time.
Don't you dare touch that dial. Absolutely, sir. I'm never. Forget the clone thing. If I'm dying on my bedside, it's Jim Carrey reading me Phantom Regret, and that's it. And then I die. And I have to have
Like the
someone.
song.
Yeah, I need to have the instrumental, the boom boom, the keyboard thing in the back, the synth, whatever. I need that playing too. All of it. Him yelling in the back. The Weeknd just going ham with the vocals in the background when it doesn't need to be. Maybe.
Were you ever in tune with the song Life's Humming?
Oof. Anyway, reviewed that last week. What are we doing? Oh yeah, so Randall said he's gonna lie to his loved ones, with the cloning, and then
What?
you said you were gonna lie to your loved ones by cloning.
When did I say that?
I don't know, somewhere in earlier in the episode where I edited it in that I can't speak. It is getting close to February,
Oh shit.
so get ready for
Oh
some.
wow, Anthony. Today, why you can't speak? Look at the date. It's 117.
That's it. I'm being possessed.
Yeah. Cortana. Captain Keys.
Speaking of which, they added a new AI in the story mode, and it's just the same voice actors
Is
for
Bortana?
story reasons. I was like, well, I was playing it. I'm like, why does she sound just like Cortana?
Is it Scortana?
Nah, it's a weapon.
What?
When she speaks, the subtitle, her name is Weapon. So every time I see it, I laugh. Oh shit,
You're annihilated.
we're annihilated. All right, that sums it up for this week, right? We got some releases coming up, right? Unless there's any other questions, Randall, you want to ask us? We got some time. We got some time to kill if you want.
Nah, I just wanted to get you guys' opinion on that
Okay.
movie.
Yeah, I would not do the clone thing, Randall. That goes against every fiber of my being, right?
I'm changing my answer.
So
I'd do
weird
it.
sometimes. My bad, Brian.
I'm
What you
changing
say?
my answer, so I'll do it just to hang out with myself. It wouldn't be like. That's all. That'd be the sole purpose.
It would be for selfish reasons.
How's that selfish, dude? I'm dying. I get to do what I want.
Actually, Brian's deal would be he's going to the island with me until I die, and then he can do whatever the hell he wants.
Mm-hmm. When I'm gone,
Wait, you don't think he would just try to end it quickly for you? Well, it depends on if you're 50, right?
Oh, me?
that's what the clone's gonna wait for.
Yeah, me. I'm dying because at Brian's hands. As a joke, anyone listening to this, this is a running gag.
Anthony's gonna clone himself to protect himself when he's 50.
Yeah, but I don't know that Brian already cloned 6 more of him, so I'm outnumbered. This is an easy 10-minute short.
So that's like the main. So every time one of Bryant's clones died, that's like the main conversations. Like you remember what you're supposed to do.
Remember the mission, soldier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brian
So
3, no!
when Anthony's like on his 5th birthday and Bryant shows up, he's like, "Aren't you supposed to be dead?"
And then you're like, you thought wrong. And it's just a bunch of naked clones everywhere. Don't ask why they're naked, Randall. This is how he like shocks me.
I mean, it's Bryant. It makes sense.
Well, that's true.
Well, I just expect him to have like a hoodie on with no pants.
Yeah, you read
That's
my
gold.
mind. I looked over to their logo, and I'm like, yeah, he's gonna have that N7 hoodie on, but then naked. So that's what my death is. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine.
Huh.
I thought he was actually just getting up to come over here and kill me. Joke.
What? Can you say it live while you're on? Can you say why that whole thing even spawned? Or is that something you have to explain offline?
Him killing me at 50?
Yeah.
I
Like,
gotta be honest
where'd
with
that
you.
come from?
I don't know what we can make an origin story now because
Oh,
I don't
so
know.
there is no origin.
No, there
story.
is. I do not remember it.
I don't remember what caused it, but I was like in elementary school, I think.
What? You had those type of thoughts at elementary? Oh my god.
It's so old now that we can just make up an origin story.
Yeah, I
Because
don't remember what caused me to tell him that.
yeah, when we do bits, Randall, it's to the death of us. How it started, no idea. But our brain knows. Hey, that's a funny fucking bit. Laugh. That's how my brain works.
I feel like obviously this is all a joke for anyone listening.
Yeah,
But I
absolutely.
feel like Brian will like give you the best birthday party, gift, whatever. Like even take you somewhere you've never been on
Like
your
I
50th.
like I nut so
But
hard
the
I
whole
die.
time he's like, you know how this is gonna end, right?
Yeah. Like he's gonna wait till like I'm at peak climax, right? And then shoot me.
I'm gonna do it as he's trying to blow out his candle. What's gonna happen? He's gonna lean in, not knowing it's a landmine.
I was
Wow.
thinking, you know how back when we were kids we'd be like, oh, go blow out the candles, and as you go in, people grab stuff. You just pull a gun out of it and shoot me
Okay. With that.
Jeez.
instead of wiping like cake on my face. It's just revolver, and then it's over. And then
Okay,
and
with
then
that.
you ask the rest of the people who are there, do you guys want any strawberry on your cake?
Mm.
And then like a Tarantino gunfight happens. I'm not gonna be there sadly, but it's a cool ending scene.
You're there.
Yeah, my body's just
I use you as a meat shield.
yeah. What are we talking about?
Mm.
Anyway, this concludes our episode of the ADLR podcast. I'm a fucking liar. We still have releases and what we're doing. It's a big week for releases. We have Windjammers 2, right? That could be our next main game, right? We're trying to get competitive. And then
The first one is so fun. Maybe it has the chance of getting me pumped in the wiener area.
it's in the foundations, right? We also have what is it? Rainbow Six Extraction coming out this week, which I think is 3-player co-op, right? It's a squad of 3, not 4. That's coming out.
I think so. Yeah, I don't remember.
Which reminds me, I gotta check to see if it's crossplay. Because it's also coming out.
Wow,
on Game
this
Pass.
looks really cool, man.
Windjammers.
Yeah, the second one.
You
You never played the original?
You didn't play the original
Nah.
Windjammers? Randall,
You missed out, dude. You missed out on some quality fun.
that's some competitive. That's fun competitive, right?
That's another example of how something simple doesn't necessarily mean there's no depth to it. That makes sense. Like or ease of access doesn't mean there's no depth, I guess is the way I should say it.
Accessibility, I guess, was what you were looking for.
Yeah. Windjammers is
Yeah, we've been waiting for this sequel since I think they announced that other like knockoff game, and we're like, what the hell is this? And then it's like, oh, it's from Windjammers, and then we played Windjammers, and it's like, oh, this is way better.
I like the fact that it's drawing art instead of like, you know,
And
3D.
So that's coming out this week. I think that's also on Game Pass, right?
Yeah.
So Randall, you'll have it. You just have to install it on your computer. Same with Rainbow Six Extraction. I don't know if it's on the PC Game Pass yet. I think it's on the console.
I thought it
only?
was.
Or it's on both? Okay.
I don't know. I don't want to lie to you, but I thought it was.
Okay.
Only because I bought the game already.
Gotcha. And what was the last one I put on there? Oh, Nobody Saves the World's coming out, which is like a cool looking isometric action RPG looking thing that caught my eye during one of like the indie showcases. Looks pretty fun.
Nobody saves the world.
And that also comes out this week.
Oh, this.
Yeah. I
This
think
is on Game Pass?
I believe so. I don't know for sure, but I think it's on Game Pass.
I wanted to play this. It gave me Binding of Isaac vibes.
Yeah.
But colorful.
And for movies and music, I didn't see anything on there. On music, it said, I don't know if it was a typo, but Kiefer Sutherland releasing music this Friday.
Apparently.
So I didn't even know he was a musician. So check out that, I guess.
King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard that's an older band, I think. Remix album. Okay.
That makes more sense.
Isn't next week there's a band or artist? Their name is just Eels. I think I'm gonna have to
Cop that.
Yeah, because Yak, and I was like, and I enjoyed it a lot. So
Okay, that's about
I
it
like the art.
for Windjammers.
Well, yeah, that too, but also Nobody Saves the World.
Yeah, I think that's on Game Pass. I'm not entirely sure, so don't quote me on it. And that's it, people. Randall,
Mm.
what is you doing this week? What is you streaming? Because it is 2022, right?
Um,
Ooh, he cleared the shit out of that throat.
here you go. What's the excuse, Randall?
I mean, nothing's really changed.
Oh,
But I don't know.
what's this tracking on the camera?
We haven't got to that point yet.
Diablo.
Jesus.
Uh, what am
Jesus.
I doing this week?
I mean, you can stream Tekken. Like, you don't have to have a cam for that.
I guess I could do that.
You can stream it, but then put my camera on there, and I'll just react to what you're doing.
That's not a real possible thing, is it?
Yes, you can do that.
Yeah, you can do that.
I
You
can.
can?
Yeah, I mean, you just have a video call like this,
Uh-huh.
and you can, if you want real time reactions, then share your game on here as well, on top of streaming. But again, we only have so much bandwidth because
Oh,
gigabit
yeah.
doesn't mean the Comcast gigabit doesn't mean up and down. It's just down.
Mm.
So you can try that, or Brian can he can just have your stream up and just react that way. We got to the point where the latency is pretty low.
Um,
So yeah, you can have Brian just be literally an audience, like the people from Muppets. Is it
Oh,
the guys up on the balcony?
the peanut gallery.
Yeah,
I forgot their name though. The old guy.
I don't know their names, but yeah, you can set that up. You just have to have an overlay for it, like where the game is, where Brian's face is, and be like, oh, the audience or whatever, and then just have him talk and just set up the audio so make sure you and the stream can
I
hear him.
forgot Bryant, man. His commentary is a little I think he's been banned from Evo. His enthusiastic commentary with loads of profanity and
I'm just saying what the community says for these moments, Rand.
um so the gym as usual. Um what else? I feel like I'm going to work on a project this week. Um
Nude painting of himself.
this guy. I'm not sure what, but I'm definitely going to work on a project. Something for myself. Lately I've been going pretty ham on stuff for my clothing line, but
You're
I mean, I'm
vegan. You can't
still
do that.
huh?
Can't go ham. You're vegan.
Oh. Uh,
You have to be like,
mm.
yeah, I was definitely going
Am I
Impossible
though?
Burger.
Randall
Some
kind of,
things have
Randall
changed
threw
lately.
that shit out the fucking window.
Yeah.
He's had meat in his mouth.
I don't know what Anthony's talking about, but I have had some turkey. And you know what? I blame your mom, man. When we went over there to your house, when was it?
It was Christmas.
Last year.
Yeah,
Yeah, but no, it was a particular time we went over there.
Thanksgiving then.
It might have been that. I think that like unlocked something. I don't know.
The meat mangler mode.
I mean, everything else. I'm still like eat plant based, but
Why don't you just do vegetarian instead of vegan?
because it's not a consistent thing, man. I don't know. I don't know if it's because I've been without for so long, and then I made a stupid mistake by tasting like some turkey that your mom cooked or chicken that your mom cooked, and then it was just like, wow,
And the craving for meat in your mouth
yeah.
began.
No, I'm
Because
saying
everything
like
else, I still like. It's still the same. Like I still don't eat dairy and blah blah blah. But
I'm assuming no. So I say why not just do vegetarian instead of vegan? Because then you have more things to eat, like more options. You five me?
yeah, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out. Um. So yeah, I probably work on some art myself. Uh, I already said the gym. Yeah, I'm pretty simple, man. It's I don't have like a huge list of things that I do. I probably continue playing
Parasol.
Witcher 2. I started it. I put like an hour and I think an hour and a half into it so far.
Did you like the
So I
intro
might.
cutscene?
Huh?
Did you like the intro cutscene?
It was cool, but you know what's funny is like I'm so used to like games now where like the cutscene is the actual gameplay. You know what I mean? Rather it being like a
A
pre-rendered.
pre-rendered. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it was like, man, this is dated.
Did you
But it
did you
was cool though. But you know,
did you play Witcher 1 on YouTube first?
yeah.
Okay, good.
It's a
Um,
prime platform for it.
jeez. Um, I might play some more of that. I'm not sure. Um, yeah, that's all I got, man.
Okay. Brian, what's your week looking like?
Uh, tomorrow I'm not streaming.
Okay.
What I'm doing though, I don't know.
Say Tuesday. Tomorrow is
Yeah, so
relative to the people listening to this.
yeah, so then you know.
Okay.
Tuesday, probably not streaming anything. I need to do something creative. I need to get the juices flowing, so I don't know what I'll do.
Easy.
Probably just
I'm gonna give
put
you
like water paint on
once
my ass and start twerking.
and whatever that and like twerk on top of like a mat with a bunch of musical notes. Wherever the paint lands, that's your new song.
Yeah.
That's it. There you go. Content. No problem. You're welcome.
So yeah, Tuesday's a me day, and I'll figure out what I gotta do, what it is. But then Wednesday, for sure, I'm gonna play some.
Wildlands don't we unless we have something else, it's Wildlands, right?
When does Extraction come out?
Isn't it Thursday night or Friday?
I don't know what day it comes out.
Rainbow Six Extract. Okay. Okay. Extraction release date. It says the 20th. So
That's Thursday.
that's Thursday. It's gonna be already too late. It's gonna be past Wednesday. So next week we could give that a shot.
Okay, so Wednesday, we're for sure playing some of that. And then Thursday, I don't think I'm streaming unless I'm summoned again to play something with you guys. I'm not. I'm just gonna be a me day.
You didn't stream.
I meant like be on stream or stream
Got
is
it.
not the plan. But if I'm summoned, if someone needs less zombies in the world or whatever, let me know. If I need to commentate live on some Tekken footage, just let me know. But nothing's planned on Thursday. And then Friday, nothing's planned, but it'll be on camera this time. So spur of the moment. We'll figure it out together. We'll find out.
Okay. Sounds good.
And then I don't know what my weekend looks like. Probably just shit myself.
All right. It cuts to you just sitting there and just every time you smile, you just sharded.
It's in there and then you just hear. And then that's it.
And then cut to the roller coaster.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho. All right.
Anthony,
What's up?
what are you doing?
Me? This week we're gonna continue the backlog day on Tuesday. Since I finished Huntdown last week, we're going on to the next one. Ion Fury's up next. He's like, what's Ion Fury? Well, wait, bro, you doing a good job of standing still, or you just fucking, there he goes. Or this disconnection is embarrassing. I'm just talking to myself, right? Ion Fury's up next. Yes, it's like an old school first person shooter, like in the days of Quake and like Doom and stuff. Older Doom. So it's gonna be cool to go back in time pretty much to play that type of game. And then Wednesday, we got Wildland Wednesday, right? Me and the bro for Bro Up. I gotta talk to Janiana to see what she wants to do for Thursday. I don't know how much she liked State of the Cat and ask her, so we'll see if she enjoyed it. If not, move on to something else.
She probably might be mentally drained from playing that with me.
No, she still laughs. She laughs at the hold on, I got a new bit. And then you spit out the thing. She loves that.
Oh yeah, because it's already up.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Again, if anyone knows an editor, please DM me. DM the social accounts. I
Oh,
haven't hired an editor yet, so
let me
none of that's been chopped.
forgot to write that in a friend of mine's Discord. See if anyone's interested.
Um, I don't even know what else to say. I think that's it. That's Thursday. Yeah, and that's it for the week. I don't plan on streaming anything on the weekend, but again, it's never ruled out. I might just hop in as a surprise stream, but no one knows. That's it. We'll see you guys next week for some more shenanigans. This has been the ADLR podcast. Goodbye and good night.